Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, your Stampin' Chick, and I am here with a very special Case It Wednesday project to share with you. I can't wait to tell you all about the products I used to create this beautiful card. So Stampin' Up! Has done a wonderful thing for us with the 2020-2021 annual catalog that's going to be coming out in June. They have decided to go ahead and let us have a product suite early. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's called the Ornate Garden Suite. It's absolutely beautiful. It has 2 Stampin' Die bundles in it. One of them is called Ornate Thanks. It has all of these beautiful thank you sentiments and thoughts of gratitude. And then it has an Ornate Borders dies that go along with it. Absolutely beautiful. Lots of lace and florals and very pretty. And then the other bundle is called Ornate Style, and it's floral images that are perfect for watercolor or Stampin' blends, and then it has some beautiful ornate frames to go along with it. Now, other products that are included in this suite are the Designer Series paper, which is absolutely stunning. There's a 3D floral embossing folder, a 2-pack of ribbon, and the colors are Old Olive and Terracotta Tile, and they are gorgeous. I mean, look at that. They're beautiful. Let me get... There we go. There. They're absolutely beautiful. I love them. And then the gilded gems are these beautiful gold. They're perfect for these projects. They're absolutely beautiful. And the Designer Series paper is a lot of fun. On this side, you've got this floral, and here, and here. And they seem to be a little busy when I saw them on the brochure. But then when I got them, I mean, they're very, very pretty. And then on the other side, you've got some really nice softer tones and some gold foil. Hello, I love the gold foil. That beautiful mint macaron with gold foil. Yes, please. Isn't this beautiful? I love it. So, the Designer Series paper, absolutely fabulous. Okay. So, getting to this week's project, all right? We're going to get right to it because there are a lot of little cuts and things. I've put most of it together or pre-cut and pre-stamped to make this go a little bit faster. So, let's see what we need. You need a piece of Old Olive cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is going to make our card base. You'll need a piece of 5 1/4 by 4-inch Whisper White cardstock. This is for your lining on the inside. And as you can see, I've already applied it and already stamped it with the Ornate Style stamp. Then you're going to need a piece of the Designer Series paper that is cut at 2 inches by 5 inches. And we're going to offset the cut at an angle so that you're not right at the corners, but you leave just a little bit of gap. This is what we're using right here. So it's kind of a sneaky little deal. We're going just like this. And as you can see, I'm actually doing this the opposite direction. So, but we don't need to waste all of this Designer Series real estate in here. So we're just cutting it apart like that and then layering everything on. Okay, so this is 2 inches by 5 inches and then cut on the angle. All right, so there's that. Then you're also going to need a piece of Old Olive cardstock that measures 2 1/4 by 6 inches. And this is 6 inches because, as you can see, it's set at an angle. And so you're going to need it a little bit longer so that it goes all the way to the edges on our card. Okay, so, and I've already embossed it with the Ornate Floral embossing folder, and it's just beautiful. I mean, look at that. It really is a very, very pretty texture. You're going to love it. Okay. And then I've got 2 pieces of So Saffron cardstock cut using that scalloped lace border. And so I've got 2 of those, and you want them to be at least 6 inches as well. And then 2 pieces of vellum with the lacy floral border. And I've got that at 2 pieces at just over 6 inches as well. And then you're going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 1 inch by 6 inches for your sentiment piece. And these 2 pieces are petal pink, and they're 1/4 inch wide. And I just cut a 1/4 inch strip off of a sheet of petal pink cardstock. And I used the early espresso ink to stamp my sentiment. And then I cut it and stamped the other sentiment and cut it so that they're relatively the same size as my sentiments. So as you can see, they'll fit just like that. All right, so once we've got all of our supplies here, let's go ahead and put our project together. So we've got our card base here, and we're going to start with our designer series paper. And I'm just going to adhere this down. Stay. All right. And so I want it to just be basically even on all 3 sides, okay? So I think right about there is good. All right, and then the same thing up here on this side. Now, because I've cut my angle on the opposite angle as I did the other one, the card will look similar, but the angle will be going this way instead of this way. So we'll see which one we like better, huh? Okay. Now I'm going to take the green cardstock and I'm going to layer everything on this, and then I will lay it all together onto the card base. All right, so what I need is some liquid glue because I think that'll be easier to control at this point. And I want to put it lightly along this cardstock. And I'm just layering everything together. So we'll just layer like this, and I'm going just under the stitch marks, and then the same thing on this side. Just like that. There we go. And we're not going to worry about trimming this off because we're actually going to be trimming a lot off of both of the edges anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Now I want to use tear and tape on this because I feel like with as much of a layer as there is, we're better off to go ahead and use some tear and tape. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and put it all the way to the edge. And then I'm going to put another strip right in here for however much we're going to cut off. And then do the same thing going this direction. This is just to cover us in case we cut off a little too much on the end. So let's give it a rub down here. There we go. Our fabulous Take Your Pick tool to help us get the backing off. Listen, friend, don't run away from me. Okay, next. And there we go. I love all of the colors that are in this suite. I think that's one of my favorite things. That and all of the texture. There really is a lot of texture in this suite. I love it. That embossing folder is absolutely amazing. And always with the designer series paper, even when I've looked at it and said, man, I can do without it. And then I see it in person, I go, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I'm so glad I didn't do without it. Okay, so now when we put this on, we just want to make sure that we're basically centered on the card, that our little corners are covering past the edge on both sides, and then we'll give it a nice even press. There we go. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and cut this off just to keep from having too much bulk when I try to cut. So as you can see on this one, I'm cutting off a good share of the tear and tape right there, but that's okay because at least I know that there's tape all the way to the edge. Get that in the garbage can. We definitely want to make sure that we've got tape all the way to the edge on this one because with all of these layers, it'll definitely make sure that it stays on good. So, and there we have the first leg of our piece. Where did that other little piece go? There it went. Look at that. It attached to the back of my card. That would have been a bonus, like a signature line. Okay, so now that we have that part, we're going to work on this sentiment strip. And the reason is because when I did this, I did it kind of in sections. So I did the card base and the designer series paper as one section. And then I did the green layer and the So Saffron layer as one section. And then I did the white layer and all of this as one section, and then I just applied these. And when I did it in layers that way, it makes sure that it's all attached very well, and that it's easy to apply to the card base itself. Alright, so since we're using photopolymer stamps, we're going to bring in our piercing mat, the thank you stamp, and I'm using Daffodil Delight. Now, one thing that I haven't even mentioned yet is that this product suite uses a new in-color stamps, or a new in-color ink that is going to be part of the 2020-2022 in-color collection, which is really exciting. We've never seen a sneak peek of color before, at least not that I'm aware of. And so that's super exciting. There we go. And from what I can see, and let me get these card swatches here. I've got some samples of designer series paper. So it's called Bumblebee. And because I'm seeing a lot of yellows in here, and I predict it to be somewhere between Daffodil Delight and Crushed Curry. So I'm not exactly sure, and I can't wait for it to be available to get it and see, but it looks like it's going to be a very pretty yellow color. So for now, since I can't get a hold of the new color, I feel like Daffodil Delight is a really nice complement to this designer series paper. So that's what I'm using. Okay, so we're going to bring this thank you piece back in. And just like I did with the green layer, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the vellum pieces, and I'm going to glue them directly to the back of our sentiment strip. All right. There we go. Very nice. And then the other side, same thing. Hope that you guys are liking this project. I fell in love with this card right off the bat. It is beautiful. I'm going to leave a little room there because I'm going to want to cut that off. Okay, there we go. Give it a nice press. All right, and we're good. Now, the same thing with this one. We're going to put some tear and tape on here. Now, you could probably get away with your liquid glue, but I'm just going to use the tear and tape. So now with this one, I can put the tear and tape halfway over the vellum piece and halfway over the sentiment strip, which I love. I like that I can do that and make sure that it stays adhered together. And then on this side, here we go. Very good. Okay, now we'll give it a nice little rub down without creasing it, because that would not be good. Pull the backing, and we're almost done already. Well, I say already. I don't know how long this video's been going. Time flies when you're having fun, so I always think my video is 8 to 10 minutes, and then I get it saved and uploading, and it's 18 minutes, and it's crazy. So, alright, now we're just going to put this right in the center of the green layer, and the same as we've done before, making sure that the edges are hanging over on both sides. So we'll do that. And then it looks like I've got a little adhesive on there. So let me just see if my eraser, yes. If you don't have one of these adhesive erasers, they have saved my bacon a few times. They're fabulous. All right. So let's go ahead and clip that off now as well. Let me do it on this side so I can see what I'm doing here. There we go. There's one. And two. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. All right, now the only thing that's left to do is to glue this one on and put this one on with mini dimensionals. So let me grab my mini dimensionals, which are right here. And don't mind that stamping stuff on the back side. I've repurposed this paper. Actually, I had put the scrap back into my paper package and didn't realize that it had something on the back side of it until I went to put the dimensionals on the other strip on the other card, and I went, oh, I didn't even realize that was one that had been stamped. So that's okay. All right, here we go. So we're just going to put this right here. And I want it to be as close to the edge of the white part as possible. And then I'm going to take some liquid glue and just run it along the back side of this piece. And it's going to go right up here. Just like that. All right, folks, there you have it. A fun, fabulous paper pieced card that actually doesn't weigh too much. It's really nice, and it doesn't have too much thickness that it won't pacify the postal standards for a regular card. So anyway, someone is going to get this card in the mail. You know what? I want to send these out to you guys. If anyone would like to have one of these cards, if you'd like to claim this card as your own and have it in the mail to have some nice, happy mail, why don't you send me a comment down below or send me a message on Facebook and say, hey, Dana, I'd like to have that Ornate Garden thank you card, and I will send one of these out to you, okay? All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching this evening. I hope that you enjoyed the project. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. Have a wonderful day. Until next time, bye for now.